mean, this is just a random idea of mine, like
All
most of the
right.
stuff.
I
Oh.
did it.
Oh, it's a great idea. It's just, horror flicks they just really aren't my thing, so.
Yeah. You gotta have that flavor, you know what I mean? It's either you love
Yeah,
them or hate
yeah,
them. There's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you don't have your in-betweeners hardly.
Right. That's why, I'm like, damn, man, your time is so wrong. My woman's occupied.
I needed the better half.
Oh, yeah, you did. She'd have at least slowed you down a little bit.
Yeah.
Made you think about the words coming out your mouth.
Yeah. I wanted to really skip over Halloween. Well, the one that happened in between 2 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
And that one hurts my heart.
I think she agrees with you, though.
Like, yeah, that one is like, why in the hell would you even try to do that in the middle of this franchise? You're going to take the shape out of it
Mm-hmm.
and just add this
All
weird
right,
dude.
Peter. Before you get confused, we're live on the round table and your channel at the same time.
Oh,
Oh,
So
Jesus.
both chats are.
look at
Both
that.
chats are where?
Are going.
Combined.
Okay, so
Oh, where do you get to see them combined?
There's 2 chats in one.
You don't. You've got to go to each individual channel, but
Oh,
StreamYards will show the chat from both channels at the same time. You won't know which is which until they say something.
Oh, I don't see the chat.
Okay, so I got the YouTube pop out chat over here, but to see both of them, it's over here in the StreamYard.
Oh,
See, man, this
really? All that crap?
Yeah, the second
like
or
too
third party
loud.
hosting is pretty insane.
Hey, Damagena. Hey, Rosie Rand.
Hey,
Welcome
Rosie
to my
Rand
brother
and
Peter's channel.
Damn it, Jenna.
Everyone needs a Damagena.
Yes, we do. Man, like,
Yes. It's a lot easier to try to tell everyone to come to Skeeters. We just do it all at the same time.
well, I haven't did nothing on this channel, like live stream wise, in ages. I did one this morning, but of course I played too much music, and they frown upon that now.
Mm-hmm.
Skeets beats
Yes,
can no
they
longer be
do.
a
Very
thing.
much so.
I was fine if I stayed with my boy Crucifix music, but as soon as I branched out from that, they kind of hit me with a lot of stuff. And they don't even give you no warnings. They just straight take your shit off now.
Some people do, damn it. Some people do.
That's funny shit, Mike.
Go ahead, Mike. Just go out there and keep finger banging your damn milking cow spud.
I'll have to check that out, Dorito. Oh, now we got back. Who's going around?
Uh-oh. I got the headphones in. It shouldn't be me, right?
I don't know. Might just be StreamYard.
Hopefully. Should be.
Whoa, things got really quiet.
Yeah.
That's because Lisa muted herself.
What does it mean?
Like crickets.
Shut up. Shut up.
Mm-hmm.
What are we discussing? Yeah, Skeeter, what are we discussing?
Whatever. Anything creepy. The ScreamCast. Anything creepy. I mean, Mark's face. That's scary enough.
Damagena.
But we talk about anything creepy, and Muggs is like, yo. He comes the perfect time. The Mark's like, bro, come on, man.
Well.
Oh, man. Like, I've been grinding away so much at this freaking black door thing, and then this random ScreamCast I have in my idea, and then it's between heaven and hell thing. Like, my head's like spinning. Oh, but hopefully we have all this launched here soon.
So what can we do to help you? Dennis said, well, which dream shall we talk about first? Pick one, damn it. Pick one.
Pick one, anyone. Draw straws. Well, it works, man. It works. You want me to shut the hell up? Super chat. Oh shit.
I thought the super chat was to make Jimmy drink more.
No, that's yesterday.
Yeah, I
That's
know
the
that.
Thursdays.
I think
I'm
it's
too tired to
smash.
freaking drink.
Yeah, I hear that.
Recently,
Like,
so
I got one more football game. My poor
well,
boys have not won a football game all year yet. I got another one in the morning. Well, not really in the morning. I think it's a late game. I think we start at like 12. But hopefully my boys will get a win. Hopefully we'll get a dub finally. Now my defense has been holding strong. Uh-oh. More feedback.
we're waiting for the
Oh,
dream, damn it, Jenna. We're waiting to hear about the dream.
yeah, Reggie,
So,
please. So, cliffhanger. Shut up. Okay, see, Marky Mark, you've now crossed the threshold. I'm going to uppercut you across the border now. Uh-oh, what happened? Oh, look at the back leg. Digging that, Gaffer. The night bot. Okay, so
oh, sorry. Damn.
now have you guys watched all the Halloween films?
Yes, I
Like I said,
have.
there's Doris. There's Mother Horrorhead.
You couldn't miss this street.
I'm trying to finish this stupid sketch for this
Yeah,
scene here.
Gaffer was showing Skeeter his new background. Hey,
Uh-huh.
Dustin.
Digging it. There's the shape.
Very nice.
The one and only.
Halloween.
Yes. COVID has ruined that for us. We were supposed to have our sequel and trilogy dropped a month apart. It's never happened before in cinematography history, and COVID murdered us on that one. I will forever hold that grudge.
You and Lauren are distraught. I know.
Oh, and I just want to say, dilly people, dilly.
Have you
Dilly
watched How
dilly.
to Be a Good Host? Never seen it. Never seen it. But if you keep super chatting me enough, I might be able to find it somewhere.
I was gonna say Mike's gonna make you rich just by super chatting you.
Just roasted me. I dig it. Keep roasting me. I haven't been a host for a while on here. So he's got to cut me a break. I'm sensitive. I did kind of ramble through
Dorito,
pretty
what's
quick.
up?
Well, now you have your own StreamYard brand, Skeeter. So
Uh-oh. Branding.
yeah, you got branding.
I did finally get the T-Rail stuff over today. A little bit late. They
Yes,
want me to
that's
sketch out this shit, and I can't draw a
Yes.
stick figure. That's a problem.
Wow.
See, they want me to like sketch out like where camera movements are and like how scenes are supposed to be set up. And I'm like, man, I can't draw shit. Can I like trace it?
Hold on.
Dustin.
Maybe eat it. Maybe eat it edible,
Down.
and some magic will happen.
There you go.
Damn it, Jenna. Hello.
Do
Holy
it again,
fuck.
Skeeter. Put it up again.
Oh, I want my scene sketch. There it is.
So is that a murder scene?
No, this is just like I gotta practice on motivated camera movement and unmotivated camera movement for cinematography, and you got to sketch it out before you do it. So so they can see, okay, where I fucked up at. And where I fucked up at was the drawing, so I'm safe.
Dustin cracked his phone so he could barely see what he's typing.
Oh, shit.
Are y'all
job,
laughing at all these? Yeah, you laughing at these super chats or not?
Yes. I'm enjoying them. If you keep it going, I might be able to find how to be a good host and hashtag stop talking.
All right. Oy.
There's something
If we
I could
keep
say
it
there,
going,
but
I'll
I won't.
almost have. If the super chat keeps going, I might have my props and costumes done
There you go.
for my film. So maybe if
Right,
I
I think you better keep rambling then. Yeah.
just
Right.
keep rambling on.
Mm-hmm.
It might be my psych meds too. I don't know. Maybe all 13 personalities are trying to talk at once. And that's the problem.
That could be. I know that could
Well,
be a problem for you, Skeeter.
Hold on.
It definitely
Skeeter, I
is.
thought that's what happens every day.
It is.
Mm.
It is. They all come out at the same time, manifesting, and it's own them in. Especially when we're talking about Michael Myers, though, because then I get excited and get pumped up and almost go into like a WWE promo. You know?
Oh yeah, you like snap into a Slim Jim and
Yeah.
just fucking go wild.
That's it happens. You just snap into it, brother, and start feeling.
Captain Jerk. Tech Thomas, how are you doing?
Captain Chuck. My left contact's
Can
gonna
I
pop
send
up.
Captain Jug a link to join, Skeeter?
Absolutely.
Do you
Okay.
think
Yeah.
we are going to have a It 3, Skeeter?
Oh man.
I hope so.
I was kind of disappointed a little bit in the sequel.
Yeah.
They kind of let me down a little bit. So to have a 3, I think they maybe should, just to try to kind of redeem themselves and kind of correct some of the mistakes into. But it just seems like it's so hard for them to take Stephen King books and making them into movies.
Yeah, it's never, the books are always better.
Always better, yeah. And I think it's because some of the graphic things he writes about, you really don't want to put on screen.
Yeah.
Like it, for example, in the book, the female of the group literally sleeps with all the guys so they can be connected to take down it.
Yeah.
You can't really show that in the movie now. But
To be really honest
I don't
with you,
know.
I don't even want to find out what his first drafts of each of his books is about, because that guy has got some serious shit going on in his head.
Yeah, he does.
He does. I think he takes a drop of LSD and then tries to go to sleep.
I think he takes a drop of LSD to calm himself down.
that very well might be too.
What up, Cap?
Hey, doing?
What's going on, Cap?
Hello.
Thanks for having me up.
Yeah, no problem, bro.
Skeeter, Fluffer.
Mike,
Ladies
to be
talk.
really honest with you,
Doris,
Mike,
Jimmy?
if you really want Skeeter to shut up, that's an easy fix. I'll just do this.
Bashful.
Also, there's a link roundtable chat for you, beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Bashful.
You still fucking mute. You gotta unmute yourself, Skeeter.
Skeeter.
Hey, B-Lady.
Oh, he's not even talking.
Hey, Joe.
Now he's unmuted.
Did you just work that out?
Damn it. How you doing?
And now you know why
see
he's
that?
in films.
Why he's Skeeter? Yeah.
And now you know why Skeeter's in films and we are not.
Yeah.
So at any point in time, you can just.
You know.
Now Skeeter, do the broken speech, interrupted microphones playing up thing.
What you it ain't, and he was going around and I was and and we kind of went.
Oh my God.
Doing the broken up thing, I wanted to start throwing the truthfully Trisha twitches in there for some reason. Which no shit, I
Oh
tried
God.
doing that the other day, and my neck's
No, I
been
have no
sore.
idea. Nothing.
How you
Is
doing,
that
man?
where the beautiful pool was, Bashful?
Oh yeah, Bashful.
I was in Kentucky this
Okay,
weekend.
Bashful. And no, Dustin, I had no clue. And she found a bigger thing to swim in instead of a bathtub. She was in a pool. So she
Oh,
decided to throw coffee and barbecue sauce and all that in there.
think about the ingredients she can fit in that damn thing.
Hi, Diet Cola.
Hi,
Hi,
Diet
Diet
Coke.
Cola.
What up, Cola?
I hate Diet Cola. How you doing?
And Ron? What's up,
For
Ron?
everyone that don't know,
Woofy
thank you,
whoop.
Damage Jenna, for dropping Skeeter's
Woofly.
link. For everyone
Yeah,
that don't know, this is my brother, Skeeter.
yes,
He is
Wolfie. I
another member
did
of the round table. So we're kind of
because
like,
that's how I roll.
One of the OGs, baby. That's it. Popping and locking.
Hi, Dustin.
I,
Oh,
I
man.
I am fooling around with actually doing some more parodies finally. I know I've been saying that, but I finally got an open space where the parodies might start coming back. And of course, truthfully, Trisha is first on the list because she's just so much fucking fun.
oh, thank God. She is.
She, yeah, it's fun doing those. Damn it, this contact is driving me nuts.
Nice, Bashful.
Oh, that was the pool at the hotel. What are you doing at the hotel?
Filling the
Or
pool full of coffee.
who are you doing at the hotel?
She was swimming in the pool. What do you think she's doing?
Thanks, Jennifer, dropping the link.
Jet
You would think
Wash.
from the
Jet Wash, how you doing?
Skeeter, you would think you would learn from this. Some things YouTube frowns upon. Leave it
Yes,
there.
music and bathtubs.
I can think of a lot of things that YouTube would frown upon. Just saying.
Was that KY?
Yes.
Oh, CDS brand.
Yeah.
What? I don't want to know why that's so close to your computer station, man.
It's in my top drawer.
Oh shit!
Jet Wash, what are you talking about? He's always shining like a turd in a punch bowl.
Did you guys see the list of remakes that we're having in 2021? Like
Absolutely not.
No.
horror film wise,
No, what?
No.
we're having a Candyman, which
I
I-
did see that.
yes, I'm looking forward to that one. Of course, we're having the Scream 5 with a lot of the original cast coming back for that one,
Ooh.
which could be pretty sweet if they do that one right. Kind of eerie about that one. And what, of course, the two Halloween drops. Freddy's coming back
Ooh.
with Robert Englund doing Freddy. So
Really?
1, 2, Freddy's coming for you.
I would love for Rob Zombie
Yeah.
to do another Halloween.
if he left his wife out of it, like
Right.
Oh,
Right.
what, Sherry Moon? Oh, jeepers.
Yeah. She's been in every Halloween and she's been like the star.
yes, her and that white horse in the second one. I'm like, why? What the hell are you doing, zombie? Like, back away.
I
from
can't
the-
even listen to that song without picturing the fucking white horse in my head now.
Yes, it's brutal. Now the first one he did was okay. I kind of
Right.
like how he made Michael this massive dude with this insane strength, and I really like that one. But then the second one, we got his wife and a white horse
Yeah.
in like a dream state. So
Right. I when the first one came out, I was like, oh cool, we'll get to see it from Michael's perspective.
yes,
And then he completely went awry and
Do you understand motivated and unmotivated camera moves? Yes, I kind of sort of do.
I never got back to you. Could not find channel.
What happened?
We were just reading B's statement. Lisa, do you want hubby up here?
Uh-oh, there he is.
Fine.
And
You don't
we've
want to
crossed,
answer? I will bring him up anyway.
we will cross the border.
I finally crossed the
She-
border.
She might want Mark up here, but I don't.
I'm already here.
I already
Started
got a
from the
few
border,
of them.
now I'm
B-Lady.
here.
I got, they sent me a ton. I got light boxes. I got the 600 LED panels with the soft boxes and the whole jazz. That's actually what's kind of blaring on me right now is one of them toned completely down because them fuckers produced some heat. I think the Candyman's going to be badass, though. I think,
Yeah, I know. When I saw that, I'm like, hopefully they don't fuck it up.
yes. I think
Doing
if they
another
can bring,
Candyman?
yes, in
Yeah.
2021, we're getting another one.
I think by the looks of that comment, Gamer knew there was a Candyman coming.
So who's gonna be the actor this time?
Is it gonna be Kern? Is it gonna be Kern?
I'm not sure who they got to be.
Yeah, I
Candyman.
don't think they've said who it's going to be yet. They just have a producer planning on,
Let's just hope he's got the deep ass scary voice like the first one did.
right?
Yes, yeah. I think
Kern.
I think it'd be kind of cool if they just don't say until they drop
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? Like you got to go see it to see who it is, type thing. But with technology nowadays, you really can't keep a secret like that.
No.
It's gonna get leaked.
I ain't gonna lie. I did the Candyman deal when I was little.
B, I don't think there's any new movies coming out this year.
I wasn't
I
little
think
when
they've
when they
pushed
came out.
everything out to 2021.
Yes, they did. Other than indie
Damn,
productions, like there's a bunch of indie production films coming out, but the major productions ain't pumping anything out. Which is
Seems like
great
40
because it
years
leaves it
later.
open for my little short feature. So I'm not complaining too much. Other than we missed out on the 2 Halloweens this year. That broke me a more to help Mark understand it better.
Folks, this year it's going to be the best Halloween you've ever seen. There's nobody going to be on the streets, and if they are, they're going to be running from everybody who's got COVID.
So
The Purge.
Wolfie said Tony Todd will be the new Candyman.
Tony Todd, really?
Okay. Oh yes, B lady. Yeah, I understood what you was going with that.
I'm pretty sure that's who it was before. You know, the guy that played Kern in Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, the B lady.
Yes, that is.
The way this black door has now moved in with my righty partner, he got to have surgery to get a tumor removed from his thyroid next week. So that kind of threw a curveball on everything. But basically, this piece is going to be about the internal struggles of depression, but showing it in an external fashion. That kind of wraps it in a nutshell. So what goes on up here during depression, we're going to project through cinematography. What's going on, Tim?
A box of ham called Steve. Okay. Thank you, gamer.
A box of ham called Steve.
Uh-huh.
What?
The best way to confuse Candyman is give him a box of ham called Steve.
And
yeah.
Jet Wash, I don't want to I'm sorry, Wolfie, I don't want to challenge you, but I'm going to. You are wrong. It is going to be Yahya Abdul Mateen II.
And Justin, the best way to confuse 90% of the people on this panel is to give them a box of ham called Steve.
True. If I received a box of ham called Steve, I would consider my life choices very carefully from then on.
B, we're going to shoot for 15 to 20. Just time the beats correctly and kind of hopefully give that nice, good wrap up at the end.
Well, gamer, calling us things like fridge fuckers is not doing you any favors.
It's not only that.
How the hell is someone
it's
calls a fridge fucker?
It's Skeeter's choice on who gets brought up, not ours.
Yes.
It's not. Look, my fridge is not a Fifi. I gotta say, come
on. Fifi.
No, Seth, I am not. And not only that, but this is not a wrestling stream. I'm sorry.
That's another one of my passions. I was an independent wrestler for a while.
Motherfucker, where are you every Monday and Wednesday?
We usually working at practice, but I definitely need to get on one of your streams.
You do?
Because he's working hard, hardly working.
Yeah, I've been through tables. I've jumped off ladders. I've smoked cage, steel cages. I've done it all. That's one of the many realms of entertainment that I've been down. And my son is amped up for Clash of Champions here.
Me too.
Sunday.
I can't wait. I haven't decided if I'm going to do a stream or not for it.
Oh man, definitely have it. I think it's going to be a pretty decent card. Really.
Yeah.
And I love the new big cat they got on there going head to head with Strowman. I forget his name now. The new 7-foot monster they're pushing.
Oh, Baba
something, yeah.
Yeah.
That big dude. He looks pretty menacing.
Hey, Josh.
Me, I'd like to see a SmackDown with Freddy Krueger and Mike Myers. That'd be
right. I know we got Freddy Krueger versus Jason. We need Freddy Krueger versus Michael Myers now.
Well, what about Jason versus Michael Myers?
I was gonna say, Jason versus Michael Myers.
Because that was a showdown that I thought of when I was younger. And,
that right there would be one hell of a show. Michael Myers versus Jason Voorhees.
Yes.
I've always wanted to see that shit.
You can actually see that.
Wanted to see that come out.
You can see it on my instructor for cinematography and lighting one, Trent Duncan. He's a YouTuber as well. And what he has done is kind of create the Marvel universe with all the iconic horror characters.
That's kind of cool.
And
is it like Raka Raka, or is it actually cool?
Yeah, I did. I mean, it's pretty slick how he does it. It's pretty slick. You had
Anthony.
The Jason versus Michael one was a pretty good one.
I apologize. I have to take that back. Raka Raka is pretty freaking cool. I gotta say.
I mean, Michael's been shot. Michael's been buried. Jason's been drowned. Jason has been all over the place. Michael's been all over the place. He's even been
Jason X, Jason in space.
Yeah. Jason went to space. Jason went on a cruise.
And we got to be honest, Jason's just kind of a bootleg of Michael any damn way.
Yeah.
They both wear a mask, so they don't talk.
Would you agree?
Yes, I would.
It's kind of like Lincoln and Ken.
Not tonight, Josh. Not tonight.
It would be a good show, though. I mean, who wouldn't disagree about seeing Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees go at it? I mean, they had like you said, Freddy versus Jason. That was a hell of a show. I mean,
and
I like how they added the comedy in with it too. It's pretty slick.
And Wild
looking
Man,
a little short there. I'm like,
this is the host. So if you want up on panel, you have to ask him.
Oh, Muggs.
So Muggsy. Hi, Muggsy.
I don't know how long this is going to last before it starts to freeze up.
Josh, not tonight. Not
Hey,
tonight,
Muggsy.
Josh.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Anthony. Like the Night of the Living Dead, man. That film fucking
I think it's good, all right.
scared the hell out of me as a kid.
Yeah.
That
It
was
was
one of
good.
those ones.
It was cool.
And they're horny too.
That one and like Rosemary's Baby in the original Exorcist.
Rosemary
Like,
Baby.
Rosemary's Baby was messed up.
yeah.
Anyways, how y'all doing?
No Satan, no
Talks about scary movies.
Ah,
Y'all get to see me roll a trigger.
That would have been pretty. Like, seen one on YouTube about sleep paralysis. That would be a pretty cool dynamic. That's where we kind of pull this idea of the black doors, like trying to get like showing through a cinematographer's lens what depression is. It's going to be a weird
Like
dynamic.
like an Insomniac version, kind of.
Well, it's kind of like
Insomniac.
the internal struggles everybody goes through with depression, but making them physical things that you see a character going through.
Okay.
Yeah, Anthony, I did the same thing. I watched it as a kid and then rewatched it as an adult, and I thought the same thing.
You ever seen the new Carrie? That shit is crazy.
I've seen the original. I don't know if I've seen the new one.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen the new one.
Listen, I watched
And
the new one.
I'm sorry, the original Carrie was. It's serious?
Yeah.
That's like Prom Night. Did you ever see Prom Night?
I've seen the
Oh,
original, yes,
Serious?
And get one.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Prom Night for 30 years.
because that got my gal in it.
Yeah.
And
Christine's better.
gamer. That's because unlike most of us fuckers here, he has a life. That's why he's
Right? Christine freaked
Oh,
the hell out of me
It's,
when I was a
it's
kid.
not a gamer trying to actually talk shit.
I think he is.
Dude, I got moles on my asshole. It's more important. Don't tell me mine, man.
The movie Christine was great.
Appreciate that, Black Widow.
When I was a kid, I could not walk by a 1950s car without being scared to walk in front of it.
Right,
As long
Christine.
as it was,
Well,
if it was
beware,
red, then
the
you
brakes were
you'd be afraid to
shabby
go
at
back.
best. I mean, come on.
And that's like Cujo.
Oh yeah, Cujo.
Remember
I
Cujo?
love St. Bernards.
Yes.
Me too. I used to. And then I saw Cujo.
And then I saw
And
Beethoven,
then
and
for
I
a
was like, they're
while,
not
I was
so bad.
afraid of St. Bernards, but I love them again. I love big dogs.
Shannon, I can only say one thing about remakes. After Ghostbusters, if people haven't learnt their lesson, sucked in.
I've heard that. I've heard
Ghostbusters-
Ghostbusters sucked wicked bad.
Yeah, no.
I
Well,
didn't
they're
bother.
doing another one of those now
did.
with the original cast.
Ghostbusters.
The regular cast?
Except for Harold Ramis.
Well, the ones that are left.
Ghostbusters remakes were sucked so much the whole franchise disappeared.
Hello, Kirsty.
Yeah.
They've done a lot
One
of
of those
dirty
last
things with
y'all see is
Ghostbusters
the
over the
movie.
years, though.
What's
Like that,
up?
they came out with a freaking Ghostbusters cartoon, but it wasn't the Ghostbusters from the movie. And then they came out with another cartoon at the same time called The Real Ghostbusters.
I vaguely remember the cartoon. I think.
There was two different ones. One was the Ghostbusters, and one was the Real Ghostbusters.
And neither of
Okay,
them were
Anthony,
the real
thank you very
Ghostbusters.
much for your recommendations.
I think I would love to see The Last Stand be
Yes,
done.
Anthony, thank you.
That's another good Stephen King one.
I love
heard
The
about
Shining, Anthony. I love The Shining.
Oh yeah, The Shining and Doctor Sleep. That was badass.
Dude, I have Doctor Sleep, but it's bootleg. But I like Doctor Sleep. I haven't watched it all.
Oh,
I haven't seen that.
It's a great extension of The Shining. I love that one.
I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen that either.
Yeah, I really haven't gotten to pay
Oh,
attention
yeah.
to it. Like I
I
watched a
haven't
little
seen
bit of
it.
it.
You got to
I
watch
watched a little
Doctor
bit of it,
Sleep.
and,
They did that
you
one.
know,
Did,
The
has
Stand.
anyone,
Yeah, sorry, Stand.
Has anyone watched the remake of the Pet Cemetery?
No.
Yes.
No.
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
I've been
that
wanting
was
to, but I haven't.
I
That
really
was
don't
a
want
true
to.
story. Yep.
I really
But
don't
that's
want
like Paranormal Activity. Do you guys agree with me that the more movies they did, the shittier they got?
But you have to look at it this way. They did every single movie backwards.
They did.
The Pet
They
Cemetery
started at the
was
last
horrible.
and went.
Yes, B
they started
lady.
at the
I
last.
researched that whole house.
So who can tell me something about the movie
Last movie.
Lost Highway?
Never heard of it.
Never heard of
B
it.
lady,
have.
I'm sorry, B lady, but it wasn't a true story, and the makers of the film and the books and everything else admitted that it was not a true story.
I have
Finally,
heard of the.
There's
Lost
so many
Highway.
different Amity
No, it
horror
is a true story. I watched the
trails.
documentary.
See,
The
there's so many
original
different
Amityville
trails of
Horror
it.
is
Yeah.
true. The guy that killed
Right.
his family in that house has a documentary out on Netflix. The very
I
first
watched
one
that.
is true. I don't know about the rest, but I do know the very, and I do know that, and I'm from that area, that even the construction workers that went to go tear that house down got sick and their equipment stopped working every time. There has been rabbis,
Remember-
priests, do you name it,
Yeah.
in that house have walked,
Yeah. And the guy that did the murders
and it's
is
not
still in
house that is
prison,
haunted.
and
Basically-
he's claiming that the oldest
Devil, third
sister
voices.
is the one that did all of the murders. He only killed the father and her when she
So
went
she
and
killed the
killed the
rest?
younger siblings.
Could you imagine that being like your defense? They're like, honestly, if you get possessed and you don't remember doing all these things, but obviously you did do these things,
Yeah.
how would that hold up in court? Like, you wouldn't, you know what I mean? Like, how would that defense?
Right. And he
Wouldn't be
didn't
able to.
tell his side of the story till years later, which is one of the reasons why they came out with the original documentary, and then they came out with an interview with him about the documentary.
It was a DeFeo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Hey, Christy.
See, there's the true storyline, and then there's also the line that Gaff is probably speaking of, where they believe that this guy created all this to create a buzz about the property, to kind of up the price value of his land or whatever,
Right.
which would be insane. Like, hey, it's up the price value of this property because a bunch of people got slaughtered here.
Yeah. That's not going to up your property value.
No, I don't.
I
Yeah.
do have a question. Was the Amityville house the original house in the movie, or was it a different house?
It was the original house in the movie, as far as I know.
No, because there was two houses.
What do you
Was it?
mean there were two
I thought there was two
houses?
houses. I thought there was two houses, or I'm thinking like it was. It might be the Conjuring houses that I'm thinking of.
Anthony, how you doing?
Yeah.
It may be the Conjuring that you're thinking of, because the
Yeah, that's what I'm
Amityville
probably
Horror
thinking.
was the same one that
Yeah.
had the rounded windows on the top floor.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
was the
Yeah, then
Amityville
this is the
Horror.
Conjuring house that I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Right, B lady. Like, I don't think nobody wants to
Jimmy,
buy
can we go by the Amityville Horror House?
Nope.
Why?
Oh, come on,
It's
Anthony.
in New York.
Come
Where do you
on.
want to go?
Come on.
Where do you wanna go
It
down
is.
That's the main reason. It's in
Why do
New
you want to
York.
go down to Long Island?
Fuck no. Don't want to
It'd
be
be a
nowhere
road
near
trip.
it.
Skeeter, you want to go in
She just
50 with me?
I'll go. Absolutely, I'll
She
go.
just wants to go past it. You know, she don't want to stop. She just wants to go by it.
See, I wanted to go
Oh,
to
go drive by it? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They had
Oh,
the
I
Hell
want-
House in Gary, Indiana. That
Me
Zach.
and you had a
from-
conversation about Peter earlier. If he tells you don't go, listen, don't go. If he gets like 10 feet from that house, it's like, nope, I ain't fucking going in there. He knows better.
Don't go.
Listen to him and don't go.
Oh, trust me, I'll listen to him. I'll listen to him. I just want to do an investigation with him.
They had the Hell House like in Gary, Indiana, that I wanted to go to. That Zach from Ghost Adventures had bought,
Yeah.
Yep.
and he did like one episode. Barely got through that episode, and then had
Uh-huh.
it demoed.
Had it demolished.
Yeah.
I saw the movie. Did you see the movie he made on it? The documentary?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what got me amped up
Zach
wanting to go.
Bagans.
I'm like, shit, I wanted to go there,
Bagans.
but we can't go now. Like, there's something about Gary, Indiana. It's given us the Hell House and Michael Jackson. So
And the god awful song.
there's something in
B-Lady
there.
says, B-Lady said Jimmy is cheap. Oh, Jimmy, it is cheap.
Huh?
The house.
I don't know.
She
Oh,
said the
cheap.
house is cheap.
Yeah, they trying to sell it again?
Yeah, she said it never got sold after that second family lived there.
It's probably got radon.
Well, it's gotten rained on and fallen apart by now.
No, radon gas. The
Jimmy, it
radioactive
has a
gas that seeps into your
boathouse
house.
and all kinds
Yeah,
of
it's got a
property.
boathouse.
It's a waterfront property.
Yeah, I know.
It's
It's a
got a
beautiful piece of property.
There you
Well, how
go.
much they want for it? Fucking $500,000.
It's on a lake. I mean,
Right.
Like I said, it's a beautiful property.
Beautiful property. It's on the lake. It's nice, beautiful beachfront. It's
Right.
you might slaughter your family.
Yeah, B, I watched those.
There's just a few
Actually,
demons inside the boathouse, but it's okay.
actually, all the
Yes,
people
B-Lady,
who
I
have
love
owned
that.
the house since the so-called story events happened have reported that nothing really weird's happened to the house, and everyone would stop driving by and pointing.
Well, you know,
See, I've watched that show too, where they was
you
talking
can't
about.
outlive that, you know?
Hey, wild man, how you doing? I didn't say hi before, so hi.
Do you know who did an investigation inside that house, though?
Who did an investigation?
Geraldo Rivera.
The ward Lane was it? My mind's blanking now, but the warden,
Exactly.
original ghost hunters.
Doritos got it. Yeah, Lake had some bodies dumped in it.
The Wardens, Lorraine
Yeah.
and Ed Warden.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they took a lot of like flack for that too, like where people thought they was bullshit and making stuff up, and like kind of was a thing there for a while.
There's a street that I used to live on called Prospect Street in Enfield, Connecticut, and that's one of the more famous spook houses of the northern area of Connecticut. Actually,
Isn't that where The Conjuring was?
I don't remember.
Oh, no,
just
The
know that-
Haunting in Connecticut. That's what it was.
I don't know, but it's not a good looking house. You could look it up on Google Maps, Google Earth or whatever. It's not a good looking house.
Dorito says a lake that has a few bodies thrown in it and dug out by the poo-poo. Oh, Popo. Sorry.
The poo poo.
Yeah, B-Lady, he is. He might be a big guy, but
See, when I first met my wife, we lived in this town, but we lived in a place like across town where the funeral home was right across the street. And she had already been living there. I moved from Ohio over here. And first when I walked in there, I'm like, man, this place is fucked. And then I go downstairs and I see how old this place is. It's not lumber for cross beams, it's timber. So I'm thinking, okay, we got a pretty old place. And then you see a fireplace that is about 7 feet wide in the basement. So I'm like, okay. And I go out, I look at the funeral home across the street in this property, and some crazy shit popped off there. That's the first place I actually see my first like full body apparition that looked like it wanted to eat my soul. And so I started like looking into this place, and it was the crematory for the damn across the street.
Yeah.
And finally, we had some more other things pop off there. I tried cleansing the house myself and doing all these things, and nothing would work. Finally, like, I had enough of it, and I told her, I said, listen, you can stay here tonight, but I'm out. Like, I'm done with this place. Like, it's all on you. And that was the last night. Now, the other people that's been living there has been living there, and they seem to be happy, but me, not so much. Like, that place was fucked.
Dorito was like, be like, I
Yeah,
was
baby.
fishing on the lake today and caught
Baby,
a
the place
torso.
is for sale. It's only $850,000.
I'm sure
Only-
they'll take a lower offer.
Yeah, no. Look at it. It's all fucking done up. You want to see it? It's not like it's falling the fuck apart. It's gorgeous.
Cost to build the house.
You want to see it? I'll show it to
All I
you.
know is that she was. All I know is that the
Take a look.
spirits or demons or whoever that was in the house was telling her to build within the house to confuse the spirits. She would have stairways leading to nowhere, rooms going to places that are locked or are really not rooms. I mean,
Yeah, the Winchester house is
the
insane.
Winchester house it's like a maze. I mean, it's got a staircase that goes from here to here to here to here, and it gets smaller and smaller and smaller as it goes.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
it's one of those
no-
wicked places.
Does no one want to click on the Amity house?
Where is it?
Oh.
Did you put a link?
It's underneath. I was going to share it. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, it's
There's a
beautiful.
nice look, you know.
that's the Amity
There's the-
house.
There's the boathouse. Oh, here, let me. I can't make it any bigger. But yeah.
Hey,
See,
Uh-huh.
it's got a boathouse. It's got a
Yeah.
lake view, and
there's another
Yeah.
spook house in Enfield, Connecticut on Route 5. It's also called Enfield Street.
Only $850,000, and it can be yours.
the house.
To be
Some-
yours.
Some woman murdered her family in it.
Oh,
Oh yeah, it's fucking. What did they say it was? Freaking 5,000 square foot,
Confusing.
5 bedrooms, 3 baths. Yeah, more house than I would
Big
ever
ass
want.
family roommate.
That's like 3 times the house I need.
You better have a roommate, kids, whatever. I'm just
Fuck no.
You better have a roommate that happens to be a damn pastor, preacher.
Yeah,
Like,
just turn the first floor into my place and then rent the rest of it out.
A pastor, preacher, cardinal, the damn Pope.
Looks like
Yeah.
that's looking like a 3-family house to me.
It is a 3-family house, bro.
Cut that thing right
How many
up.
baths- How many bedrooms did it have?
3 bedrooms, 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, 5 beds.
sorry.
and a whole
Still
shit ton of
not-
dead. Like, I'm not.
Right.
Yeah, I'll go stay the night just to see what I can see, but I don't want
Pretty sure
to
it's these
Yeah.
two.
be an inmate number after that night.
Emily Winchester was provoked by the spirits who she believed that her family was killed. Her family, but the people that were killed by the Winchester rifle was haunting her. I don't know if I'm correct, or not, but
See, if you look at Winchester itself, like even the Supernatural series, like picked up on some of the lore, but supposedly the original Winchester cat making all the guns was like kind of a ghost hunter himself.
I didn't know
That's all.
about that one.
Yeah, it's a whole crazy ordeal.
Crystal watches that show, Supernatural.
Yeah, they got that idea of Supernatural from
Somebody.
whoever does that show. Like, does a lot of research into different lores and different things, because they do a lot of shit. Like,
That's her favorite
to the
show.
point. Like, yeah, I've watched every episode like 100 times. I'm obsessed with it.
She can't wait for the new ones coming out. October 8th. That's her
Yeah.
grandmother's birthday, actually. Huh? Oh no, her grandmother's birthday was the 5th. Sorry.
Uh-oh.
Doris's birthday is the 8th.
And Lisa's birthday is the 8th.
Yeah.
The Octobers.
Speaking of orbs, I knew this. I know this person who had opened their window at some time at night, and she has a baby monitor for her child that was sleeping for her when she was asleep, and it's a night vision camera, and she saw this orb just circling around the child or a toy that the child had. Uh,
Oh, wait.
it was there for like 2 or 3 days, or I don't know how long she stayed, but I believe like 2 or 3 days, and it would just circle the toy and go over to the child and just sit there and like try to play with her, her child. And one day I was like, okay, I video chatted her, or at least I video chatted her, and we were like, go into the next room and see what it does. See if it leaves that one area, or if it cradles your hand. Like she believed that it was a child, like a kid that just wanted love, that was missing their parents or a loved one, and just needed comfort. So after that, she went in there and just stood there, and it just floated around. And then, like the next day, she said that it was gone. But you can see it. You can see it floating around very softly and grow, and then go back into a small
See,
circle.
I got a different, like, there's definitely something paranormal and supernatural that goes on. Now, here's where my theories get kind of crazy or not so crazy, depending on who you talk to. But I do believe there may be like a parallel universe thing going on like around us right now, and sometimes we bleed over into these different lines, and our activity can be paranormal to them, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
And then another side of my brain, I guess I'm still like kind of up in the air with it, of that spiritual realm of people just still kind of hovering around, and you get those residual haunts, and you get those type of spirits coming around and things. But that's where my brain bounces around, because nobody can really tell you for sure exactly what that is. The only thing people can tell you is energy doesn't die; it transfers. You can't kill energy, so where does it go? Nobody knows. But I kind of I don't know. I kind of dig the idea of like these parallel universes and that bleeding over, kind of like the Twilight Zone to this picture. Are we just a picture type of philosophy? But I don't know. That's why I'm so like infatuated with the
Yeah,
paranormal, because
me too.
you can be your own scientist. You can't do that with a lot of other things, but with the paranormal, you can kind of do your own research and create your own
Yep.
theories.
Like I definitely like I've had experiences that like could be coincidental, but I don't think so. Like there was once we lived in Jimmy's dad's house. We were taking care of Jimmy's dad. And I had a hope chest in the living room, and it had all pictures on it. And my mom had passed like I think the year before. And Jimmy's dad was like the size of Jimmy. They were both like over 6 foot, like 300 pounds. Every time I walked by my hope chest this one day, my parents' wedding picture, which was in the middle of the hope chest, would fall forward. No other picture would move. Never happened when Jimmy or his dad walked by. Only happened when I walked by. That night, I got a call from my sister that my father had a seizure and was found unconscious with his head split open in his apartment.
No.
That sucks.
And then the day my dad died, on my way home, my mother's favorite song was Footloose.
Yeah.
Wow.
On the way home, that was the song that came on the radio
Huh.
when my father died.
Wow.
And I just took that as a sign from my mom.
Yeah, see, like again, there's synchronicities. There's like been like I forget the scientist who done that study, but it was like back when it was kind of like taboo in like the scientist realm of touching anything like this. But synchronicities is where he was trying to do a study to prove like these type of warnings will come from somewhere, to kind of prelude or something, or synchronicities will happen that will connect certain events that's unexplainable. And that's another fascinating element that I believe that whatever's happening we can and will get warnings of if you pay attention to. Now, the flip side of that coin is people will say it is just a coincidence, but like that right there, that would have to be a whole lot of coincidences
Right. And that's what I said. I
to
was
line
just
up.
like, thank you, B.
Yeah, I'm definitely sorry for your loss, but I definitely think I believe more along your lines than I would of just being a coincidence off of that, because that, to me, that'd be just like, it's kind of dismissive, really, when people say, "Oh, that's just a coincidence." Okay, well, how do you explain all of these lining up at the right, perfect time?
Exactly.
Like to me, it's because people don't understand it, and the human brain, if we don't understand it, we'll fill in the gaps or just dismiss it.
Right.
And I think you get a lot of that when you start talking about the paranormal, because it's still kind of taboo. Like, real scientists really don't want to touch it or mess with it because you can't really explain some of
Yeah,
these
you can't
things.
really explain something like that.
Right.
I mean,
Well, and the funny thing is, like, when my dad died, when Footloose came on, I didn't really think about it. And then I was telling one of my friends the next day at work, and she was like, you know, that was probably a sign from your mom that she knew you would understand.
Absolutely, yeah.
do you think he was trying to get your attention?
Maybe.
Like-
I mean, just letting me know that he was with her, or
She was there, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like my personal kind of story. I don't think I've ever told really to anybody other than my family that knows of it. Like, before my birth father died, I was still in the military, and I had just got back from deployment. And he had called me like several nights in a row, talking about these different dreams. Like, he had a dream. He's like, "Son, are you okay?" He's like, "I had a dream like you was playing football and you busted your head up real bad." And I'm like, "Yeah, Pop, I'm fine. I ain't played football since high school. I'm good." And then like the next night, he called me, or maybe it was a couple nights later or whatever, where he had a dream like I had messed my right arm up extremely bad. And I'm like, "No, right arm's fine, Dad." Well, within that next week or two span, he had died from, I don't know. It's still up in the air whether it's whatever happened. Anyways, they explain it as he fell down 10 carpeted steps and somehow separated his brainstem from his spinal cord and had like a baseball sized head through his skull, and his right arm was laying on a space heater that caught on fire. So
oh wow.
you take those dreams and then you see the circumstances how he lost his life. And how could that be of coincidence or something?
Right.
There had to be something in play there where he was almost like dreaming of his own death without knowing it, type ordeal.
That's what I was about to say. It was like his dreams were telling him about how possibly he was about to go, like, you know.
Yeah, and then he was.
I don't.
Yep. So I mean, that's not, to me. There has to be something more to that than, okay, these dreams didn't matter or they're coincidence. That's how he ended up dying or whatever. But it's not coincidence, I don't think. I think there's something there that we are yet to understand. So we just dismiss it as coincidence because scientists don't want to or can't prove it's wrong or it's right. So it is what it is.
I like to believe can't.
Shannon, I do. I think you have to believe to see. I think that's why they say that children and animals see ghosts and spirits more than adults do.
You know, it's it's funny that Shannon said that, because my friend, he told me that he was low and down at a time, and he had to walk through a cemetery and seen this bench by a gravesite and sat down. Didn't know the person. The person who was buried there sat next to him and talked to him. Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah, see,
they
there's-
may reveal themselves to some people, to certain people. Maybe if they're there to, just for talk to, to help. But all ghosts aren't bad.
No, definitely.
Right.
All ghosts are. And that's, again, man, I'd love to see like more of these big groups of scientists like jump on the subject of the paranormal and put their resources behind it to try to further the study. But again, still in 2020, it's still kind of taboo. If you're a scientist and you touch this, they still want to call you nutty. But it's a real thing, and like the thousands upon thousands of stories that are out there that nobody can explain, like
Right.
that have their resources behind, I think would actually make headwaves and get these things going.
Right. And Anthony, that is true. I think a lot of those shows that are real, or a lot of the haunted places that have a lot of activity, are found to either be on Indian burial grounds or battle
On
areas.
battlefield, like
Yeah.
they did over there in Gettysburg.
Yeah.
Where a lot of negative energy is stored. And
Right.
yeah.
Unfortunately, I believe that ghosts are like UFO sightings. I'm not discounting that they actually happened. I just haven't seen one.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean
I've seen
that's
the others.
It's
The
funny
The movie
because
The
in
Others.
I'm gonna
our
jack.
old house,
Peace out.
bye. In
There
our
you
old
go.
Hey, Jimmy,
house,
thanks for coming.
I both
There, Jim.
me and my two nieces swore our house was haunted. When our bedroom was upstairs, I would often hear like a baby. And when we moved our bedrooms downstairs, my niece moved upstairs, and one night she told me the same thing. She was like, it's either a cat or a baby or something. And then both of us, we had like a shower stall with like a frosted glass door. And we would often, like from the corner side when you were in the shower, see like a black
Reveal vision.
thing going by. And Jimmy never believed us. He would always have an explanation for everything that we said. Like for the shower thing, he would say, it's a car going by that the lights are shining
It's a
through the window.
figment of your imagination.
And I'm like, well, that's one thing, but our street was a one way and the cars were going in the opposite direction of the window. I'm like, so it's not that. I'm like, because the headlights never shine in the window because they're going the other way.
See, my brother was that type of person where he would always like try to come up with logical explanations of why things happen until he come and stayed a few nights in the house where me and my wife originally stayed, and he was face to face with. He couldn't disprove it, and he wound up running. Like he kind of stumbled down the steps, bounced off our stove, ran through the kitchen, out in the front porch, and waited for a ride back to Ohio. So
Yeah.
Hey, Skeeter, have you
Fair
ever
enough.
been? Have you ever been exploring? And have you ever smelt the smell of sulfur?
not sulfur, like, and not like a real strong stench. Like, the lore behind that is if you smell sulfur, demon, or, some sort of thing like that. Like, there's a lot of lore behind sulfur in that. I haven't smelled like that real sulfur thing, but I have been exploring in places where you smell these smells that, for instance, the last place that I was actually at doing an investigation, we started smelling like real strong cigar smoke, and we're outside, like way out in the country where there's nobody, there's no neighbors, there's like nothing around where you'd be smelling it. And it was just me and two other people in there. We don't smoke, but you smelt that like tobacco, like that
Yep.
pipe tobacco or cigar smoke, and you're like,
Yeah,
wow.
you get
You know what I mean?
something.
Yeah. Same thing.
Well, Mark-
like my mom was
Mark,
a big
when I have
fan.
that freaking that sulfur smell coming from out of nowhere, I put a layer of deodorant underneath my tits, and that usually solves the problem.
My mom was a big fan of the Avon Rose perfume.
Oh, yeah.
If you've ever smelled it, it literally smells like a dozen roses.
Yes, yeah. I know
And like
exactly what
every
that-
once in a while, for no reason at all, I'll smell like roses. There won't be roses in my house.
Yeah,
I'm
I've smelled
I'm a
something
little bit
similar like that too, though.
I'm a little bit
Like
like
flowers, like
the
you would smell
captain.
flowers, or like a sense of lotion, or uh,
That's because you got your head too close to your ass. I was a little bit like Justin, and whenever I went near cemeteries, I used to smell a lot of sulfur, but then I realised if I closed my mouth, that would go away.
See, it's interesting because a lot of these lures that are based off of aren't just like centered to one religious group or to one
mhm.
sector of people. These are like worldwide religious boundary crossing lures that there, to me, there has to be a connection because these guys can't agree on anything else other than some of these things that are going on. So
Right.
again, it goes back to it might be something we never know, or it might be something to where it got to become more mainstream for these scientists to want to jump on board with. I don't know, but again, that's the only chance we actually get to be scientists ourselves, in my opinion. Is you're able to invest these things, come up with your own ideologies and theories, and try to connect the dots yourself. And
Hey, Seth.
it's
I'll be right
exciting. Hey,
Hey,
how we doing,
Skeeter,
Donnie? Yeah.
before I leave, you ever
Mark,
Here's
you're
the
breaking up.
picture.
You're bad.
Yeah, you're breaking up, bro.
That's a nice house.
What's up, Bounty?
do you ever remember that one time when I went to the cemetery to do like a paranormal investigation, just to sit there at night? I don't know if you were there on my panel or not, our channel, when I did the live stream, and I happened to mention like back then, before I even knew about YouTube. Well, I knew about YouTube, but I never did anything to go live or whatnot. Uh, I just happened to go back there like to walk around this cemetery, and this cemetery has like uh old graves from the 1880s to the 18, like from the 1800s to 1880s, to from the 80s to the 1900s. And I just happened to walk like around it. I mean, it's a pretty decent sized cemetery. It's not big, but it's a decent sized cemetery. And I happened to walk around the end of
Down.
the last row of the cemetery lot, and I heard a baby crying, like in the distance. But it wasn't like there's a couple of houses there, but there where I was, there was no houses,
Oh, it's not.
and
Oh.
I heard a baby crying out in the middle in a pitch black area.
See, that's another creepy thing, man. We're talking about lures and like urban legends and stuff. The baby crying thing is something like literally every state has reports or has like a crybaby bridge or has something like that. That like, okay, it can be dismissed as whatever, as an urban legend or whatever. But if so many people have these accounts and like it rains, almost like Gaffa said, like UFO type things, like where you got these credible people saying these things, like man, like it's to me, it's there has to be something there, or maybe it's just me wanting to believe there's something there. But
Have you ever heard of the suicidal dog bridge?
No, but I heard of the Goat Man Bridge.
There's a freaking bridge over in Germany. You could look this up. This is a real thing. If people
Yes,
like
it is.
for decades, people have been walking their dogs because it's a footbridge, and they're like there's a certain part of the bridge where dogs will run up to the freaking edge and take a flying leap.
holy shit, no, I never heard of that,
People's
man.
dogs will like
It's a
break
true.
away from the
It's a
freaking
true
from the
story.
person, just like yank the freaking lead out of their hand and run, 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 run.
Holy hell, keep Rover away from there,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, the Goat Man Bridge. That's another thing that's in so many different lures. Like the Goat Man Bridge is in Maryland, I believe, and again, that's something that Native Americans even talked about was this goat man. And then like biblically speaking, the goat man of course represents Satan, the devil. And then even Greek mythology had versions of goatmen and things like that.
Okay. I know
Yeah,
now. I know what you're talking about. I thought you meant like a shepherd at first.
No.
no,
No.
Yeah.
Okay, you're
actually,
talking about a satyr.
yeah, the satyr in Greek mythology, which is morphed into like, again, it's interesting to see how like all these divisive units that won't agree on hardly anything will come to agreement on some of these crazy things, and it's like, yeah, I don't know. To me, there has to be something there that we're just overlooking or we refuse to look at.
There's lots of
Hi,
different
Dan.
interpretations and names for the satyr.
Yeah,
But yeah, people. There's a lot of people over in the areas where the satyr were first, you know, remarked upon, or like that the first accounts of those creatures happened. And there's a lot of people today that still don't discount them. They're just like, yeah, we're just gonna let that one go. Uh, Next subject. It's almost like some people don't even want to talk about it. It's just like, what do you? What, you got something to share?
okay.
Yeah, Anthony, I've actually heard that. That's not uncommon among Hispanics, but I have heard of that. There's a person on YouTube, I think, that actually did um a investigation
Oh,
on that.
Yeah, see, I mean, we could probably just do podcast of lore because I've had to delve into a lot of these different lores to pull for my film that I'm working on. But
that's a
again,
variation of the Banshee.
Right,
there we
right,
go. Yeah, the Bond. See, look at Captain Jerk dropping the knowledge. Like, there's so many different names and lores of these things that come that's just crossed over so many cultures and so many religious beliefs. They just rename it and repackage it, and it's the same. Now, could it be word to mouth, the telephone game? It could be, but why are we still having these
right,
encounters? And
right. Or like the same concept of as the boogeyman.
yeah,
Hey,
In
Dan.
our culture, a lot of times your parents would tell you if you go over there, the boogeyman's gonna get you. So you live
Um,
your
okay,
childhood thinking, "Oh
okay.
God, Fluffy, what?"
Let's
Go ahead, Fluffy.
You chased Fluffy away. What's going on?
I always look forward to your input, Fluffy.
Okay, Bruce, how you
dropped
doing?
at me.
Mark, what's up, Choppers Rule 1? How you doing? G'day. Kate, he's Scrapping. Thanks very
A-
much, Dan. How you doing? Thanks for coming in.
Actually, I got a better idea. Um,
See you, Doris.
the concept of the boogeyman and similar stories within other cultures um, can be explained by time of mixing of cultures. So as generations mix together, like in America and now in Australia a lot, um, stories get changed down. I mean, Santa Claus is a very, very, very poignant issue in this type of discussion because Santa Claus is stories that have developed over generations and generations and generations to become what he is
yeah,
at the
true.
moment.
Right.
And if you look back at the history of what possibly could have got Santa Claus to where he is, there is so many
Krampus.
different cultured references within Santa Claus that you can understand it. And horror stories have basically the same thing because up until the last 4 generations, horror stories have always been a way to be able to keep children and small communities in check to make sure that they don't drift past their religious beliefs and their cultural beliefs and
Mhm.
everything else. And as generations have grown and more, the Mormons, those people with the curly locks down their ears, what are they called?
Hasidic
Um,
Jews.
and there's also the ones that don't like electronics and technology and all that shit. As they've developed,
Amish.
whether or not they like it or not, other cultures have influenced into their lives and the stories and the histories. And storytelling has been one of the best ways that cultures have been able to keep their history alive and their beliefs and their culture. Everyone interprets everything slightly different, and the stories get a little bit more embellished each time because each storyteller adds their own flair. So yes, they're going to start sounding like they're a little bit the same.
Right. Like I've
Yeah.
heard stories that like Santa Claus actually started out as a bad story. He was a child abductor.
Krampus.
Yes. And
Certain aspects of Santa Claus, but then there's you've got to take the Norwegian version of Santa Claus and the English Saint Nick version of Santa Claus, and the fact that Coca-Cola had a big influence in how the hell Santa Claus turned out. Then there's also who's that guy that did all that Americana type paintings and caricatures in the 50s that everybody
Andy
believes that was
Warhol.
yeah, and the other guy. There's another guy. Can't remember what I was thinking about later, but the
I don't know.
ideal
Warhol was the
world
guy
of
that painted all the Campbell's soup cans all weird.
yeah, but that's Andy Warhol. But there's another guy who did a whole load of stories about the ideal America and how the perfect white Christmases and all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
Those influence the turnout of Santa Claus. But it's also
okay.
the stories that you hear when you move to a new country or whatever. The influences. Oh, that seems a little bit like a story I heard when I was a little kid, and they add to the story and make the story seem a little bit more like theirs
yeah.
for kids. And kids grow
Yeah.
up with that. And kids also remember things a little bit different to what they were when they're kids to what they are when they're adults. And stories do have changes and everything else.
Yeah.
Hello, Ian.
Like I know some Christians believe that Santa Claus is actually made to interpret Satan. And
One
they
moment.
say
Norman Rockwell.
That's it, Rockwell.
Sorry, go ahead.
that if you mix up the letters of Santa, it actually spells out Satan.
Yes.
Yeah, which it's mind-boggling to know that basically the Santa, the Christmas that we celebrate, is really pulled off a lot of paganism that Christians have like adapted to their own, and it's a lot of bleed over. And I can see how like the story game, like Gaff was saying, like I mean that's very very real. Like the high immigrants coming over and mixing stories and blending of cultures will develop some of these things and it's just one of those things. Like, will we ever know the actual definitive truth? I don't know. I mean, maybe not. I don't.
But the thing with stories is the truth doesn't always matter. It's how effective the story is
Right.
in
Yes.
portraying what
Oh,
it is it originally started to be. Hearsay and folklore is always a big thing in stories, and some stories. And here you go, Mark Chopper rules one. And some stories um, are more fascinating if they're scarier and more weird. Um, like some of the stories of the native Indians of America, some of the histories of theirs. Some of those stories were embellished to sell certain things and make it look like everything was a little bit more than what it actually was. There's no fun in having a boring story, and that's
Right.
the issue.
yeah.
Like, and
That's where
I,
we get to come up with hyperbole.
right. And like Gaffa said, the stories change because I know, like Peter Pan, some cultures believe Peter Pan actually killed children, and that's why they never grew up because
Yeah.
he killed them as children.
There was a series of books that I had when I was a little kid that was like the real stories behind all of the freaking like fairy tales like
Yep,
Pinocchio and
yep,
stuff
yep,
and look the Little Mermaid and whatever, dude. Those books were freaking graphic and horrifying.
yep.
Okay,
It's also
those
it's
things
also
would scare the
things like
crap out of you. And
has everyone heard the story of the Pied Piper?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
There's
yeah,
rumours that the Pied Piper was actually a story
Yes.
of a pedophile.
Yep. He used to lure the children away.
he lured all the children away at the end of the story anyway.
Yep.
what he
Yes,
did
but
with
the
them is
fact,
no one knows, But
yeah,
yeah,
so I'm
there's
saying
the
that's
implication. Get it?
basically the history of that is supposed to be to do with, and he didn't lure all the children, but children regularly he used to lure with his music, and it was to do with a pedophile. But that is hearsay, and there's still no facts or proof of that.
Yep, and that's all
So the issue,
drove off
the,
of Pan and the Wiccan
the
belief.
issue, the
Pan.
issue we
I
need
mean,
to take away with this though is we are going to remember stories the way we remember stories, and there's a big thing now at the moment. Do you remember when you were young how this looked like this and now it doesn't? Somebody is trying to change
The
history. They're
Mandela
trying to
effect.
yeah, and all that bullshit. The issue being is how you remember stories and how you remember incidences can be influenced by the way you feel, the circumstances, your age, your mentality at the time, a lot of things. And that's enough to change the actual facts. It's already been proven that witnesses never actually see what they see because um, they embellish and change and assume while they're actually watching what's exactly going on.
Yep.
But the point of being this is nobody's saying that the ghost stories and the UFO stories are not real, but to have a healthy skepticism towards what you're being told is very, very beneficial to a truthful outcome. But then on saying that, if anyone stops investigating these shit, I'm going to go kick some people's asses because
Yeah.
it's interesting, it's riveting, and it does give us more and more information every time somebody comes up with something new.
yes, yeah,
Good
absolutely.
night, B.
Well, my peeps, it's almost
Good
3,
night,
and I
P
gotta
lady.
get up
Thank you for joining us.
early for a football game. But I appreciate the roundtable peeps coming on in
Hey,
on my side of things.
Skeeter,
Yo,
Skeeter,
yep,
I just have something to say.
no, no, go ahead, man.
Yeah.
What do you?
Aw.
There you go.
You put
You're
him
back.
down in the table. What an ass.
You're back,
The,
man.
the Seahawks are going to win against Dallas. I'm just saying.
Let's see. Now that's why he should have stayed removed.
Look, look,
Oh,
look, look.
I knew
Your
it.
No,
boys,
I
your
knew what he was
boys,
going to say. I knew what he was going to say.
your
All right,
boys had a
Skeeter.
chance, but they had to cheat to fight the way against the Falcons the other day.
yeah,
So
no, we got it
Thank,
done.
you know,
Good night,
thanks for
P.
having us.
Love you.
Thanks for having us, mate. I hope
Yeah, I
we haven't
appreciate
added
it,
to
man. I
your
appreciate you
stream.
guys. Yeah, I
appreciate the
appreciate it.
opportunity to come
This
up,
is
man.
something I like to keep going on, man. So more welcome every time, man. I appreciate you guys being a part of the first Screamcast, and we'll get it going again next week.
Uh,
Crown
do,
Lions. Who's that?
do me a favor if you want any
Detroit
more
Lions.
improvements to your uh, brand, just let me know, and Lisa can fill me in on what you need, and we'll see what we can do.
All right, I appreciate the help, man. You guys set me up, and appreciate y'all coming through.
Bye,
Oh
So,
my
like
everyone.
God,
He
Lord
always,
says,
Jesus. He didn't have a
it's been me talking to you all, and I'll talk to y'all next week. Much love, man. Y'all have a good one.
Bye, guys.
later,
Good
bro.
night, chat.
Good night.
Doris, Mark,
bye. Wait,
Lisa.
wait.
Bye.